How's it going? Welcome back to the art studio. Today we're going to pick up where we left off last week with the metalworking. But before we get back into making the molds, I want to quickly test out this new tool that I bought. So currently when I make these mounts here, I use a different type of bit and it leaves kind of a rough interior. So I'm hoping this tool here is going to be a much better solution than what I'm currently doing now. As you can see, that tool made a huge difference compared to the other way we were doing it. Now we're going to get back to the metalworking that we left off on last week. And we're going to start by building a stand for an artwork that we finished last week. Alright, so we got the pucks milled out and I have the bearing sitting inside just like that. This one here has also been milled and you can see it sits and turns nicely. The stand is now almost complete. I still haven't glued it together yet because I'm going to use the bearing inside this one here as a guide for another stand that I'm making. Now I got some smaller business things to do off camera, so we're going to call it a night and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Okay, it's now the next day and we're going to get back to the metalworking. This time we're going to be focusing on building a stand for this art piece here. So I forgot to record me carving in the grooves here on the pucks, but now both the pucks are machined the way we need them. Now we're gonna drill a couple holes in the middle. We're gonna cut this rod in half and insert it into there. Then we'll bend these kind of like this to a V shape so you have one on either side. And that'll be how this piece gets held up. Got the top of the stand assembled and good to go. The glue here is currently curing, which is why we have this thing clamped up. Now I'm gonna assemble this stand here. I'm gonna glue in the bearing as well. I'm gonna do one more round of patina on this since it's a little light. It's almost back to its silvery color. Then once we're done with this, we can hopefully get around to making some of the molds tonight. Otherwise, we'll have to do it either tomorrow or Thursday. Just like that, we now have the second stand for this infinity piece glued together. We need to let this cure overnight, but once that's done, we can get this sent off to a gallery. Now the next day, and we're just gonna get right back into working on the stand. Quick update on this piece here as well. The glue is dried. I attached these off camera. They're just little pads to make it to where the glass here doesn't get scratched. Sits on like that, spins nicely. Gotta center it, but yeah, spins nice. We'll have to take some photographs of this later on and get this sent out. First thing we gotta do is clean up all this excess glue around here at the seams. Okay, the stand is almost complete. We still have to get the bearing for the inside, but we'll get that later. Other than that though, we are done with this stand. Now that we're done with the stand, we're gonna go ahead and work on prepping this glass to be glued up. I'm not entirely sure if we're gonna get around to gluing it tonight, but I at least wanna have it prepped and ready to go. Managed to remove all the tape from the stacks. Unfortunately, with this piece, I chipped it pretty bad. You can see that there. So we're gonna have to make another one of these before we decide to glue up all those. Now it's getting a little late, so we can't really do the gluing right now. Hopefully we can do it tomorrow. I also want to try to get some more casting molds made tomorrow. I've been wanting to get that done, just haven't had time. Hopefully we have time to do that as well as gluing tomorrow. It's the next day, change of plans. We're not gonna do any gluing today. Instead, we're gonna focus completely on the metal work. Here are the molds. We have a couple different sets. I accidentally made extra by mistake. So now what we can do is melt glass into each ring. We can then pull the metal out and then we can reattach the rings together to create one giant sculpture. Also got one of these made as well off camera. We're gonna melt some more glass into this. We'll cut this in half, glue it together, and then it'll form a cube. But it's getting late and I have a lot of cleaning to do, so we're gonna pack up and I'll see you guys tomorrow. It is Friday. And we have been joined by Slim. He's just about to go into work, and this sucker ran up to the car. All right, it's now Friday. It's a little late. Slim's joining us tonight, right over there. But tonight we're gonna focus mostly on the gluing. I got some smaller like business stuff done earlier today, but it wasn't really record worthy. We're gonna focus the rest of the night on finishing up the gluing for that piece over there. So while we're pulling out all the air bubbles from the glue in the vacuum chamber, we're gonna go ahead and clean all the glass and get it prepared for the glue up. This is about as far as we could get tonight with the gluing, so we'll have to pick up on this next week. We'll pick up on this next week because it's Friday and we gotta wrap up the vlog. If you enjoyed today's vlog and you wanna see more, be sure to subscribe. And as always, thanks for your time.